Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to CNET Films and Animation. Well, we just got back from seeing the first blockbuster movie we've seen in summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Gotta say, it was pretty good.
Yes, this is one the fans I think will really like. Possibly make up for Iron Man 3, but I don't know yet.
Mm.
A lot of action. You see Captain America being Captain America. As an interesting plot, the fight scenes are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But before we start delving into the actual review, let's just briefly talk about what it's about. And then we'll talk about it kind of spoiler-free for a little bit. And then we'll talk about actual spoilers. After a certain point, we'll let you guys know when we start talking spoiler-ish and all this. But yeah, so Captain America, the Winter Soldier, basically is about Captain America dealing with the modern world, but at the same time he comes across a villain that is very powerful, very strong, and is relatively unknown. And that is the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
And all while this is happening, S.H.I.E.L.D. is starting to become kind of a corrupt organization. Not necessarily corrupt, but more of it's being infiltrated. Things are happening that
Can turn the world upside down, really.
yeah, and
It's up to Captain America, Black Widow, the Falcon
mhm.
to make things right.
Yeah, and while all this is happening at the same time, they're not really sure who to trust, especially with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is after Captain America, and they don't know who exactly is on their side.
Yeah.
So they're fighting for what is right, and doing their best to save the world.
This is a fun movie. Yeah, act scenes are fun. The plot is interesting. You get to see more than just one of the characters from the Avengers. Do you have any problems with this film?
One of the most glaring problems with the film for me was the cinematography.
Yes.
During the fight sequences, in particular, there's way too many kind of cut motions and stuff.
Yeah, it tries to blaze through them. Like there's so much it's trying to get in so fast that you can't see it very well.
Yeah.
Some of them are really cool, but they go by and, well, that sucked.
Yeah, the biggest problem is that you can't hardly see what's going on in the fight sequences.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad where it's like, shaky camera or anything.
Right.
It's more of just the framing of the shots is difficult to see what exactly is happening.
Yeah, and on some of them, you mentioned this, I didn't have too much problem with it, but it's a little zoomed in too much. Instead of being a little bit further, the picture being a little further back and watching the choreography of the fight scenes, it's zoomed up to, it's just showing the blows, and
Even then, it's, difficult to see exactly who threw the punch and who's actually getting hit and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's a slightly poor choice of cinematography techniques that they used, but the action sequences, when you could see them, were very fun.
yes, they're fun, they're very good.
The special effects in this film were very good. Characters were a lot of fun. I especially liked the Falcon. I forgot the character's name, but he was a very interesting character with very cool technology.
Yes.
The Winter Soldier was
Yeah, Winter Soldier is awesome.
yeah.
He kicks ass every time he shows up. He puts Black Widow, Captain America through their paces, also the Falcon when he shows up. He's an extremely powerful character, very cool character.
Robert Redford plays a character with S.H.I.E.L.D. he was very good in his role. Yeah, he kind of plays Nick Fury's friend. I almost said Flurry.
Sorry. His friend, but he's also like a board member of Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A higher up, basically.
Yeah.
And he was very good. Maybe not the most memorable character out there, but still very well acted and everything. But this was Captain America's movie, and Captain America does a great job. Chris Evans he plays Captain America very well. I really like him as this character. I did really like the first film, and he was very good in that. They kind of have a few throwbacks to the original film. Not original film, the first film. They have a few throwbacks, a couple of scenes from the previous film in here. And there's interesting elements to it.
Oh, yeah, it's very interesting film. It goes in also more into the character development. You see how actually strong Captain America is, his abilities and techniques, and you see Black Widow, how she is an extremely experienced spy. She knows what she's doing, especially in her fights with the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. And also mentioning Black Widow, the dynamic between Captain America and Natasha is very well done. Just very strong writing in that part. You can tell that they have a chemistry together that works very well for what it goes for. I mean, it's not like a romantic chemistry, but it's kind of like they're friends, and they work well with each other and everything. They have like a little bit of banter every once in a while, and it's...
Yeah, she's always trying to get him to go out with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This movie was had more violence than I figured it would.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, don't get me wrong, or don't get us wrong. We know that it's a superhero movie. There's going to be violence, but I mean, it was a little bit more than...
Yeah, well, you expect the fight scenes, and they all use guns, so you expect that.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's two scenes with the Winter Soldier, and you see how much, why he's such a highly trained assassin. He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
He storms anything and smashes everything in his path.
Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of death scenes in the film that
are pretty brutal.
Yeah.
There's two of them that come to mind, and you're like, whoa, his face. In the movie there was. I was like, wow, crap. But very cool. They don't throw a lot of blood into it.
No.
At all.
There was one scene with blood in it, and that was just to show that Captain America got hurt.
Yeah.
But really, that's about it. And also, Natasha got shot once.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
I really enjoyed this movie. Liked it just as much. Probably a little bit more than the first one.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really like the chemistry between the characters. It had some really cool action scenes, and it really stepped up the game for the movies, the cinematic Marvel universe. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of the best movies that has come out this year, and it's definitely one that I would recommend to a lot of people.
Yeah. It makes you that more excited for Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Although I am a little nervous about it. That's kind of something different.
Yeah.
But anyway, what would you give this?
I think I would give this a 9.2.
9.2.
Really enjoyed it. Really, really well done. Cinematography has little problems here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly towards the beginning. As it goes, it gets better. But, yeah.
Yeah, okay. for me, I'd probably give it a 9. I really liked it. It's definitely probably my favorite film of this year so far, and it's one of the best of the second generation Marvel movies. Heck, I'd even say it's one of the top 3 Marvel movies of since the first Iron Man. Definitely a great film. Highly recommend it.
Yes.
So now we're going to go into spoilers. Just talk about some major plot points and stuff that we weren't really comfortable with sharing because, well, we just don't want to spoil it, and it's pretty big stuff.
So if you don't want to hear, turn off now.
Yeah.
But if you do, thanks for staying with us.
So anyway, let's get on with the spoiler section. Oh, first off, what was your thoughts on Bucky being the Winter Soldier?
Just fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Did you know about it going in?
Yes. I did because of an article and stuff that in the Winter Soldier arc turns out to be Bucky.
Okay.
So I wasn't surprised that it was.
Okay. And I don't follow comics. I'm just looking at this as a movie standpoint. I really didn't remember Bucky from the first film. Once they started showing a couple of clips with him, I'm like, okay, I kind of remember him, but not really. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Kind of, I should have seen it coming, basically, because they mention it in the beginning. Bucky was his right-hand man, best friends since they were kids and all this, and then the Winter Soldier shows up, and it's like, oh, hey, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. They do the whole cop-out thing. You think someone's dead and they're not.
Yeah.
Again. With
Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And I almost thought that Natasha was going to get seriously hurt or something, especially when she got shot. Let's talk about the end credit scene. With we'll talk about the first end credit scene.
Okay.
And then we'll briefly mention, I guess, the second one after the credits.
Yeah.
So it's basically leading up to the Avengers.
Yes.
Talking about Loki's sphere, how this organization has it.
I'm pretty sure it's Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra.
I think they had German-esque accents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fully know, but I'm pretty certain it was. And they say that the age of miracles is upon us,
Mm-hmm.
which is what apparently they're calling the age of mutants.
Okay.
Which pretty certain that the 2 characters they show are Scarlet Witch and what did I tell you it was? Quicksilver.
Yeah.
There it is, Quicksilver.
Which I thought that they were going to be the new Avengers, not villains.
It depends on how they do it on this one. From what I know and what I've seen in comic books and other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they're villains. Well, Scarlet Witch not so much, but Quicksilver anyway.
Okay.
I've seen less with Scarlet Witch, more with Quicksilver.
Uh-huh.
And he's usually one of the bad guys.
Okay.
But
Like I said, I'm not a comic book person. I don't really read them, so.
and that's only been in a couple. They could be heroes, but as far as I know, they're not.
Okay.
So if they're supposed to be in Avengers: Age of Ultron, it's going to be a lot of characters in there.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard for everyone to get screen time.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why, like I said earlier, I'm concerned about Age of Ultron. I feel like they're putting in a whole lot into one basket, and I'm worried that it might be too much. Because you've got all of the characters from the first film, between the main superheroes, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Iron Man. Did I mention him already?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Iron Man. So, you got those 7. They're all going to need screen time and stuff. And then you're introducing a couple of characters plus Ultron, who you've never seen yet,
Yeah.
plus some German guy who is briefly shown in the end credit scene for this film. I mean, you're throwing in a lot of characters. They're all going to need backstories, screen time, all this, and I mean, not the main characters that were in the first film,
Yeah.
but they're all going to need their screen time.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned that they're cramming in too much at once.
That's the thing you don't know. This is a 3-part movie. No, as far as I know, it's not. But reading how Hollywood is right now, it might happen.
Well, I'm just, like I said, I'm slightly concerned about that, but...
Yeah. Let's see. Talk about... okay, there's a line in this movie, and we weren't fully sure what the context was. Well, not context, but what it was supposed to be referencing.
Oh, okay. And this one isn't really a spoiler per se, but it's...
No, but Captain America and Black Widow are in this secret bunker.
That was what they think is the former...
is where S.H.I.E.L.D. started.
Yeah.
And they go down into it, and there's just row after row of computers.
Mm-hmm.
And they turn them on, and Black Widow says the line, "Would you like to play a game?"
And then she's like, it's a movie reference. He's like, yeah, I've seen it. And from what I can tell, it's referencing, there's 2 possible things that it's referencing. One more likely than the other. First one that comes to mind is War Games. And this was the 1983 film starring Matthew Broderick, where he was a high school kid who accesses a military program that he thinks is a computer game, but instead is actually kind of a nuclear
Firing.
Yeah, kind of
attack program.
Yeah, and the computer generally asks, "Do you want to play a game?" And he type yes, and he'll come up with all sorts of stuff, and that's that's the one I think is possible what they were referencing. But then there's also the Saw series, where you want to play a game. And Jigsaw and all that. So I mean,
it comes on a screen, doesn't it? It's his face, and he's like, "Want to play a game?"
Yeah, kind of.
So, and then you have the face that comes on. So we're not fully sure. Mm-hmm. It could be either one of them. It'll be interesting which one it was, and surprised that Captain America had seen the movie.
Yeah.
Whichever one it was supposed to be.
Robert Redford was kind of the real villain of the entire thing for this film. Like I said earlier, he does a good job with his performance. Won't say that he's necessarily the most memorable villain out there or the most memorable character, but
no, he's way overshadowed by the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but I mean, him being the whole mastermind and everything.
It worked for the film.
Oh yeah, it did much better than Iron Man 3. Yeah. The Mandarin not being Mandarin, and then the whole one guy for Guy Pearce being the actual villain. I am the Mandarin.
Yeah. So we both enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
So tell us, guys, you going to see Captain America 2? Yeah. If so, tell us in the comments. If you have seen it, tell us what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell us in the comments.
If you guys like this video, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Be sure to check out our other videos.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
If you have any movie suggestions or TV suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And as always, I'm Corey.
I'm Alan.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys later.